Hello everyone and welcome to another episode in our game Devlog series where we take a look into the development of ProjectCards. Since the last episode, I have decided upon a format that I want to do this series in, and that is the daily report type of videos where I take you through my day and show you the progress that I was able to do to the game. In today's episode, we are going to talk a little bit about the project architecture as well as the technologies that we are going to use. So let's not waste any more time and get right into the video. Okay, so before anything, I want to explain you how our application is going to work. We will have a server to which clients will be able to connect to. Now, what's the purpose of that server? Well, the server is supposed to be the brain of the application. That means security, connecting to a database, and making sure that each turn that the player does is valid will be handled on the server. Right now, we get to our first big problems. Since our game is a browser-based game, we need a way for people to access our website. We also need a database in which we can store data like username and passwords, owned cards, or numbers of games played. Luckily, there is a solution that helps us deal with both of those problems: Heroku. Heroku is a platform that offers free subscription plans for developers, meaning web hosting and database space for free. Of course, there are a number of limitations that come with a free plan, but we will find a way to deal with those. With all the decision making done, I will begin writing the code for the server component starting tomorrow. It took me 2 days to get the basic server functionalities implemented, but now we have that done with. We can now access specific web pages from our website using their respective URLs. Also, we can save, update, retrieve, or delete data from our database. I have also taken care of some of the security for the site. We now have an authentication system in place, as well as ways to protect against most common attacks like SQL injection or cross-site scripting. I have also added a component that will allow 2 players to connect with one another in order to play the game. For this, we use something called WebSockets, but we will talk about them later in the series. For now, I have made an example to test if everything works correctly. As you can see, I can log into 2 different accounts, and what I draw on one canvas gets sent to the other. Until now, we have mostly dealt with backend stuff, so it is time to start working on the game itself as well. Like I said in our first video, we are going to use the Babylon.js framework, which works exactly like a game engine but lacks an user interface, so everything must be written in code. I have decided to spend Thursday and Friday learning how the framework functions. Luckily for me, there are a big number of tutorials and demos on the Babylon.js site. They provide documentation and examples for a ton of the components needed to make a game. From basic things like how the camera works, how to illuminate your scene, or how to create basic animations, to much more complex topics like the physics engine or the particle system, you can find most of the information you are going to need in order to get yourself started with the engine. I will begin writing the code for our game starting with the next episode, since I want to spend the rest of this week editing this video as well as making a timeline for our project. For this I will use Project Trello, and we will be using that timeline to decide which features to implement and when. This ended up being a pretty productive first week. We were able to implement a good part of the server component and learn about the engine we are going to use. Starting next episode, we will be focusing exclusively on the game, meaning things like creating the board, adding the cards and moving them around. Until then, this will be it for this episode. I really hope you guys enjoyed watching, and I will be seeing you in the next one. Take care everyone.